I have a question about the journalistic principles involved in the release of this kind of information. What is the difference between this and releasing exit poll information at, say 6:30 p.m. on a night when the polls close at 8 p.m.?
Well, I mean, in the sense of, first of all, like when we release exit poll data, the people that are actually taking the polls are also anonymous.
There's plenty of nights where we know the winner. We know the winner by 5:30 p.m. There's a conference call. We all know the winner.
Sure.
We all refuse to disclose who that winner is on the journalistic principle that the voter should be allowed to go to the polls without that information.
Sure.
How does this decision to do this, how is that a mirror, or in another sense, is it a violation of that principle?
Well, I think really what it is what we're talking about is it's a threshold, right? Whoever was going to win the Democratic nominee had to get to 2383. And so what happens if Secretary Clinton had done a little bit better in a couple of the earlier contests and had more pledged delegates, and then, and then on an election night we
understand how you got there, and we understand how you do exit polls. But what about the notion, there's information that you possess that you don't release because of the principle that it should not be released until the voters have spoken. Why did that principle not apply in this case?
Because, again, it was to get to 2383, and we all knew along that the pledged and the supers, you had to combine them together to get to 2383, and it was really, I should say that the journalistic principles are this. The campaigns don't actually determine when we're going to call a presumptive nominee, and so we're going to call it when we actually hit this threshold. It's the delegate math that's actually at stake here. And so, if we had called it tomorrow night because of
after the country had voted,
after New Jersey had voted, not after California had their polls closed, we would have put her above the threshold, and she would have, given that there was 126 delegates and she was only going to be a handful underneath, the only way that she wouldn't have reached it with New Jersey if she had gotten less than 15% in New Jersey, which was not plausible.